all friends and devotees of yoga, meditation, and Buddhist studies. Today is Friday, the 13th of November 2015. I'm just going to continue reading my Dhammapada translations. For those who are watching my videos for the first time, I'll advise you to proceed to my website attached to this video, and you should be able to follow us from there. I'm going to start reading from verse 100. A proverb well said is better than 1,000 meaningless words. A proverb which, when heard, a man attains peace. Verse 101, Dhammapada Sutra. A simple verse of poetry is better than 1,000 meaningless verses. Poetry which, when heard, a man achieves peace. Verse 102. One stanza of concrete instruction is better than chanting or repeating 100 meaningless stanzas. A verse which, when heard, a man achieves peace. Verse 103. A man may subdue thousands and thousands, great multitudes at war. Great multitudes at war. If another man could only overpower one person, that is himself, he is the greatest conqueror. Verses 104 and 105 are again connected, they are joint. I believe this comes from the ancient Pali Canon. Self-conquest, conquest over the self, is greater than conquest over humankind, even over the rest of humanity. If a person has subdued himself and proceeds diligently at work, and in his deeds ever restrained, the conquest of such a great personality may never be altered, not even by the deities or devas, Mara, Brahma, the spirits, heavenly or earthly, or the saints. Verse 106. Let's see. Yeah, single verse. Verse 106. Dhammapada Sutras. A man may make offerings and do all prescribed rituals, thousands of them monthly, and consistently do this for an entire century. If another man does pay tribute with reverence to just one enlightened sage and saint, even for only a second, that tribute is superior and obviously preferable to the century of useless rituals and offerings. Verse 107. A man may maintain the flames of burnt offerings in the jungle for a whole century. The whole century. If another man does pay tribute with reverence to just one enlightened sage and saint, even for only a second, that tribute is superior and obviously preferable to the century of burnt offerings. Verse 108. All prescribed rites and rituals, presentations of gifts, etc., to win divine favor, which one striving after life's achievements might perform annually on earth, are nowhere comparable to even a fourth of the obviously superior achievements of tribute to the just, that is, the flawless. Continuing Dhammapada Sutras, verse 109. There are 4 spectacular features which steadily advance in one who is full of courtesy and maintains reverence for older people. In general, beauty and decency, longevity, good health, joyful and peaceful living. Verse 110. A man may dwell depraved, his mind unsettled, never coming to rest, nor attaining concentration, and proceed like this for a whole century. But where a man proceeds in accordance with ethical standards, and sits regularly in concentration, just one day's existence is indeed a treasure, much more valuable. Dhammapada Sutras continue, verse 111. A man may dwell foolish, lacking common sense, lacking good judgment, his mind unsettled, never coming to rest, nor attaining concentration, and proceed like this for a whole century. But where a man proceeds in accordance with wise instructions, and principles, and sits regularly in concentration, just one day's existence is indeed a treasure, much more valuable. These are my translations of the Dhammapada Sutra, which I carried out well over 10 years ago, in English language and in Esan language. Verse 112. A man may dwell lazy, powerless, unwilling to strive and be active, his mind unsettled, never coming to rest, nor attaining concentration, and proceed like this for a whole century. But where a man proceeds with energy and determination and sits regularly in concentration, just one day's existence is indeed a treasure, much more valuable. Verse 113. A man may exist without observing the external, without observing the eternal process of creation and destruction, the initial development and ultimate ruin of material things in general, and continue blindly for an entire century. But where a man clearly observes the eternal process of creation and destruction, the initial development and ultimate ruin of material existence, just one day's existence is indeed a treasure much more valuable. Verse 114, Dhammapada Sutras, spoken by the Buddha. A man may exist without observing the reality of eternal life and continue blindly for a whole century. But where a man clearly observes the reality of eternal life, just one day's existence is indeed a treasure much more valuable. Concluding verse 115. A man may exist without observing the absolute truth, and continue blindly for a whole century. But where a man clearly observes the absolute truth, just one day's existence is indeed a treasure, much more valuable. Folks, these are the Dhammapada Sutra spoken by the Buddha. I had to rush because I'm actually rushing somewhere. It's Friday today and it's so busy. So I had to go through these things swiftly and quickly. Folks, just go through them more calmly if you have more time. I'm really in a rush, that's why I'm really moving fast. The objective of the Buddha, again, in reading these words of wisdom, these are medicines. The Buddha is our doctor, and these we consider his words very powerful medicine, which brings healing to our mind, healing to our soul, healing to our spirit. The objective is to bring your mind calm, serenity, tranquility, and peace in all situations. Even as I'm rushing, you can see that I'm not ruffled. I'm working very hard, so busy running between schedules, but I'm pretty calm. So that's the objective of the Buddha. Now, as you meditate, this should be your objective, your goal, and you should be able to attain this. If you have any challenges here and there as you practice your meditation, feel free to contact me. My email address is c.aburime, A-B-U-R-I-M-E, c.aburime@hotmail.com, or Color College, color spelled British, C-O-L-O-U-R-C-O-L-L-E, colorcollege@hotmail.com. Thank God it's Friday. Enjoy your Friday, folks. Have a pleasant day. Namo Amitofo.